Welcome sports fans, welcome back to another post-game analysis. I'm your host Jomar.
I'm Rush.
And this is This or That Sports TV, the place you guys come to get the best, most interesting and riveting sports topics, discussions and debates on the internet.
Yes people, but before we get into today's post-game analysis, don't forget to like this one. Leave a comment under the video and subscribe to This or That Sports TV. The one more thing though.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get us 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can do that, do you know how many subscribers that will get us by the end of the day?
Yes, my people, a lot. So we're here to break down the Olivier Shield game between Jamaica College and Clarendon College. It was a clash of the winners, the Manning Cup champions versus the D'Costa Cup champions. A really entertaining game. But before we do all the analysis and break down the game, let's take our recap.
Yes, so it was a beautiful evening and the stage was set for a beautiful game of football. And that's exactly what we got. You know, both teams walked out and both teams looked like they possessed the vigor to play good football. But on the day, Clarendon College alone possessed that energy. The game started off, and from the initial whistle, it was all Clarendon College all the time. They outpossessed the ball, they moved the ball, they dominated the play completely from minute 1 to minute 90. And that was essentially what transpired for the whole entire game. They would move the ball around, they would constantly get in good goal scoring opportunities, they'd constantly provide good chances until in the early part of the first half, Malachi Douglas would have hit a shot from about 25 yards. That was, I'd say, well saved by Rasika Rose. He could have probably held it, but I mean, he did as best as he probably could in that situation. And Reed ran onto it and just easily and coolly put it away, putting the Yellows of Clarendon College up 1-0 early in the game. You know, the game continued and it was more of the same. Jamaica College would get the odd break. McConaughey would find himself the odd time in space, but for the majority of the game, it was Clarendon College having the majority of the position, just simply moving the ball around and meticulously buying their time until they saw an opportunity to open up. And that's exactly what happened when Devonta Hodges got himself free on top of the box, and he absolutely racketed it right into the bottom corner. Rasika Rose had no chance and it was 2-0, and the game would continue the way it started, with Clarendon College dominating and Jamaica College getting the odd chance, and that's how both teams would go in at half-time. You know, you'd think that in half-time Coach Davidson would manage to inspire his men, he'd manage to lift them, but he was not able to get any energy from them because the second half started and it was more of the same. You know, I seem like a scratch record for repeating myself, but this is exactly what happened in the game. You know, Clarendon College now in the second half became even more comfortable. They became even more possessive of the ball. You know, they became even more meticulous and more patient because at this point they had the game in the bag. So for the majority of the half, they just play the ball around, you know, they just be comfortable, they just enjoy the game. They weren't forcing anything, they just waited patiently until something opened up, and that's exactly what happened towards the end of the game, you know, around minute 80, when they got a break off of a beautiful through pass, and Dixon ran onto it and just so elegantly put it away, easily done. And that's how the game would finish. You know, we saw a bit of animosity with a few of the players. You know, some might say it's sore losing, some might say it's passion, but I think the referee managed to keep it in control, and the final whistle blew. Clarendon College, the Olivier Shield champions.
Yeah man, you summed it up brilliantly there. What we saw today was just a dominant performance. You know, a show-stopping performance from Clarendon College. You know, we said it in our build-up, in our preview to the game, that if Clarendon College plays their best football, which I'm not even sure if that was their best football, but if they play their best football and Jamaica College, you know, doesn't turn up to the party, they can be outclassed. They can be played off the park. And I think that was the option that we saw today. They completely outclassed them. When we look at a Clarendon College team, what we see is a possession-based system. You know, a lot of people say that they try to isolate you on the wings and they can play through the middle. I don't think they have one set way that they want to hurt you or they want to score goals. If you give them the wings, they're going to take the wings with a Reed, you know, and they're Dixon and Green bombing forward. They can do that if they want, and if you give them the space. We saw what Malachi Douglas did today. You know, Saviola Blake couldn't get a hold of him in the middle of the park. You know, so they just keep that ball, and wherever the spaces pop up, they're going to hurt you. One thing that they do they do when they play football is they make that pitch so big. You know, they're a team that play with the spaces. They know exactly where they're supposed to be. Their teammates know where their teammates are, and they find them. So I'm so impressed. It was entertaining football from them today. And that system, man, that Lenny Hyde system, I'd love to see that, you know, employed some more by some of the other schools because it's truly beautiful. I'm a little bit overplaying for me. I think if they were more direct, they could score a lot more goals if they really wanted to. You know, but just an entertaining game, all round brilliant performance from them. You know, and one thing I want to ask you, have you ever seen a scrappy goal from Clarendon College? You know, when we see them play, even if it's a rebound like the first goal that Marquis Reed scored today, you know, the build-up is perfect. You know, a cut in, you know, a pass and a shot, and then a rebound. But their build-up is always so perfect. You know, their passes are always on time. The weight of the passes are always great. You know, I just love to see them. I can't remember seeing a scrappy goal from Clarendon College. There's some brilliant football from them today, man. I can get on and on speaking about their performance. Overall, just great from Clarendon College.
Yeah, well, we haven't seen that much of Clarendon College to decipher whether or not they score scrappy goals. However, on the big stage, it always seems that their goals are goals of class and elegance. You know, what I saw today was as though Clarendon College played with 12 or 13 players and Jamaica College only had 8 on the field. It seemed as though Clarendon College was first to all the spaces. It seems as though Clarendon College were first to all the 50-50 balls, and Clarendon College had the opportunity and the ability to do whatever it was that they wanted to do on the field. You said that they overplayed. I disagree. I think that they just tried their best to find the exact space and time to go for it and get the goal that they need to score. Which is why, to your point, you haven't seen a scrappy goal, because they absolutely work the ball into the exact area that they want the ball to be worked into to get the perfect goal. You know, we saw that from the likes of Barcelona, you know, in their prime. We see it from the Spain team this World Cup, and when they were winning, when they were dominating. That's exactly the type of patience that they demonstrated, and I think that's football played at its purest. The way Clarendon College plays is exactly how you want to see a team play. It's beautiful football, and I enjoyed every minute of their football today, from minute 1 to minute 90.
Yeah, and a lot of times when you see teams keeping the ball, it's always defense and midfield possession. They have attacking possession. Yeah. And speaking about playing 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, playing 10 passes in the attacking third, not a lot of teams can do that. You know, after you transition to that phase of the pitch, the passes are a bit harder to make because, you know, you're getting harder tackles from better defenders. But they just seem to keep the ball so well. You know, it's hard to really, you know, not break down, but it's hard to track their players when they're playing. And I guess that opens up a lot of space for them. What did you see from Jamaica College though? You know, kind of, they were not up to it today. You know, it could be that they just played a Champions Cup final on Saturday, you know, against a very good opponent in Kingston College. Was it some fatigue today that we saw?
First of all, I have to say very good opponent is slightly pushing it. And I think Kingston College were relatively formidable, but I don't think Kingston College were of the class of many of the teams Jamaica College would have faced before, the likes of Mona, Stats, and now Clarendon College. But what I saw from Jamaica College today is a team that's mentally tired and emotionally drained, but also a team that were simply just second best on the day and generally on all the days. I think Clarendon College just has the better players, you know, have the better coach and plays the better football. And I think that's exactly what was demonstrated today. Clarendon College had an odd loss to Kingston College, where it was the Dejan Richards show. And I think a Kingston College minus a Dejan Richards would have been a very, very, very average or below average team. And I think Clarendon College was not able to adjust to Whisper on the day. And when Davian Ferguson played KC, he was able to adjust to Whisper. And I think that's why Jamaica College were able to put away Kingston College so easily, contrasting to what Clarendon College couldn't manage to do against Kingston College. But I think both teams playing at their best. Clarendon College is simply better, and that's exactly what we saw today. From Jamaica College, some might say yes, they might not have had the legs. Some might say, you know, they're emotionally tired. It's a long season. They played many games. But I just say Clarendon College was just simply better on the day and all the days.
Here we go. Let's speak about some players that stood out to you for Clarendon College today.
You know, first of all, let's start from their last line. You know, their defender, Hodges. He was outstanding, and he barely put a foot wrong today. He possesses so much class. His ability to play with such composure, his ability to pass the ball so effortlessly, his ability to push up into the midfield, and what was on full display today, his ability to absolutely kick the ball in the goal from anywhere on the field. He was just a perfect player today. The perfect defender. Big, strong, athletic, good on the tackle, good on the pass, and can score a goal. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and I think their system starts with him. You know, a lot of good things that happen starts with Devante Hodges. Their passes, I'm talking about those line splitting passes into the midfield. You know, he can ping that 30-yard, 40-yard ball, playing that diagonal across the pitch to Marquise Reed. You know, I think a lot of things that they try to do, you know, starts with Devante Hodges. You know, the ability that he has to make a good tackle, yes, but also know when to not clear that ball. Lenny had said it to me in his interview, we don't clear the ball, we don't out the ball. You know, we play the football. And I think he's the perfect player to play a system like that because he's very composed and he has the quality to pass that football. And I'm just, you know, I've been impressed every time I see Devante Hodges play some football. I didn't even know that he had a shot on him, but today we saw it. You know, so a complete player, a complete defender. You know, really impressed. He's just 17 years old. You know, so a bit more to come from him. He said that he will play, you know, in the Capital Maroons, and we'll see some more football from him. So I'm excited to see some more from him. Speaking about their captain now, Malachi Douglas, who you said that would be the key matchup today. Malachi Douglas versus Saviola Blake. And today we saw it.
Malachi Douglas versus Saka. Saviola Blake would be to nullify their attack. Malachi Douglas would be to nullify Jamaica College's central. But the matchup would have been who would have been the better CDM.
Oh, I thought that you said it would have been a clash. Yeah. I thought that you said, Saviola Blake versus Malachi Douglas would have been important. They're trying to stop them. But yeah, that was an important clash for me today. Saviola Blake, for most of the game, chasing Malachi Douglas around. You know, a lot of the times we were saying, where is he? You know, I feel like the game that Malachi Douglas played today, you know, was a composed one. It was one where he knew he was one step ahead of their midfield. You know, it's almost like they were always late to tackle him. They were always late to his pass, to intercept his passes. You know, so that is an important player for Clarendon College today. Malachi Douglas.
Malachi Douglas is a deep line playmaker. You know, he plays a bit higher than his defense line. You know, but he pushes like the prototypical box-to-box midfielder. That's exactly what he is. And he is so good at it. He works so hard, he tackles so well, he's so composed. He's not the flashiest of players, and he's not the one that's going to make that splitting pass. You know, we see other players who are good for that on the team. But what he does is control the game so well. He dictates the tempo and he moves the ball from defense to offense, and he has a shot on him, you know, being provider for the first goal off of a rebound from his shot. An amazing player, outstanding leader. What a guy.
There we go. And the final player, you know, we spoke about the two goals. We spoke about the first goal scorer in Devante Hodges. We speak about the last goal scorer in Dixon. He was just running the show today. You know, he was one of the best players on the pitch from both teams. You know, popping up in good positions. Always, you know, it's almost like he won all of his one-on-one battles. And the end of some good two passes. And taking his goal very well. You know, he didn't give the keeper a chance, put him beside nothing. An impressive performance from him today. What he offered his team was speed. You know, he offered his team, you know, good decision making. He knew when to pass the ball. He knew when to take on his man. So I feel like that was a key part of Clarendon College's game today. What do you think about Dixon?
You know, I echo all the sentiments that you shared. An absolutely amazing player today. He did everything that he was required to do. He beat players, he made good passes, and he scored the goal when he needed to score the goal. Man of the match performance.
There we go. I've nothing bad to say about Dixon today. But this Clarendon College team overall is just a, you know, all-round good team. They're a complete team. Said it in the preview, I don't know where their weakness is. They score goals, they defend well, and their midfield is probably the best I've seen in schoolboy football this year. So I can't tell where their weakness is. Well coached by Lenny. He knows the system he wants to play, and I think the players understand that system very well. They went onto the pitch today, you know, and they completely outplayed Jamaica College. It's almost like Jamaica College, you know, could have put 5 passes together and they couldn't make it into their attacking third. You know, they got a few chances, they got into a couple dangerous areas, but just couldn't make anything happen. I mean, about the 68th minute already, you know, somewhere, you know, in that 68th region, we saw David Ferguson take off 4, you know, of his starters. You know, 4 of his best players. What do you make of that move? Or was it a move too early, or was it just a good move that didn't work today?
I can't say it was a good move. You know, I think they needed something. A change had to be made, and probably he was bringing on, you know, some guys who would have been more rested because they wouldn't have played just a few days prior. You know, I think that was probably his intention. You know, he possesses a deep team, and as such, he has the players on the bench for a reason. So I think what he tried to achieve from that move was to get a spark, to get some energy from players who probably would have been more rested than his starters. Obviously failing, you know, I think a 50% mark on Aldridge is better than anybody else that that he could offer off the bench. But today, 100% anyone from Jamaica College could not match up with anybody from Clarendon College.
Yeah, it may have been a Hail Mary from him, you know, thinking that this is all I have right now.
Yeah.
Let's work with it.
Yeah.
And as you say, fatigue players, tired players, let's see what these bench players have to offer. What we're used to is leaving on a few of the starters and taking off a few of the starters and keeping it a bit balanced. But taking off all of the attacking starters is kind of a weird decision, and we're not used to seeing that. You know, throwing the kitchen sink at them and you know, unfortunately for Jamaica College, it bounced off of Clarendon College. It did not work. You know, but all in all, a really good game, an entertaining game from Clarendon College. And Jamaica College today, they didn't turn up to the party, I would say, but Clarendon College gave us a performance today. We expected a good game, and we got that. Really, really good Olivier Shield game today. You know, one of the better ones that I've watched, and one of the more entertaining ones. And I'm looking forward to seeing some more schoolboy football. I wish it would have started right as it ended. You know, a really good season. This can prove to be our last schoolboy football post-game analysis.
Yeah.
You know, if there's an all-manning all the cast, I haven't heard any announcement yet. But if this is it, people. You know, a good one, a good season. Yeah. Thank you guys for supporting us. Thank you guys for watching all of these videos. I'm really, enjoy the support. You know, when you guys see us in the streets, you talk to us at the games. I can't tell you last I came to a game and somebody don't say hi to us. So big up to all the supporters, big up to all the people, seeing us and giving us a shout out and giving us the kind words.
Yeah, we're here. You know, we've been there from the very beginning, and this is the very end. And this are that Sports TV, as you guys can see. The last two men standing, and we take pride in that. You know, we get here from early, we get out, we start our vlogs, we start our coverage, we get interviews done, we introduce the players to you guys, we allow you guys to get to interact with them, we allow you guys to get to know them, and when it's all said and done, we stay here late and we break down the game, I think very comprehensively, so that even if you didn't get a chance to watch the game, you can feel as though you watched the game. And that's the kind of thing that we here at This or That Sports TV attempts to do for you guys. Which is why we're so appreciative that it's working out. We're so appreciative that you guys have been showing us the love, that you guys have been sharing, and you guys have been subscribing. So we appreciate it. And schoolboy football is just the beginning. We have so much more to come. But schoolboy football has been good to us. And I think we've been good to schoolboy football as well. But it's hard to say goodbye.
There we go. People, if you like this video, just like the video. Leave a comment under this one and subscribe to This or That Sports TV. The one more thing though.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get us 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, you know how many subscribers that get us by the end of the day?
Here we go. For now, leaving Stadium Eastfield. This was This or That Sports TV.
And we're out.
Yes, sir.